Hello, and thank you for tuning in to Nightcap, the bi-weekly web show where two friends are unwinding with the topics that make us hot. My name is Richard Pucci, and this is my wonderful co-host, Joy. I'm a real content creator, Nickens. Hello, Miss Joy.
Oh my God! Hi, long time no
I
see.
know, and I was gonna say it wasn't like one of those big breaks either.
No, it feels like we legit have not seen each other in like a
Yeah,
while.
I know. A lot of stuff, lot of stuff. Like I went on vacation, and by
Yes,
vacation
you
I
did.
mean I took off of work, but I didn't do anything.
Amazing.
And yeah, that's about it for me. I binged some shows. I bought a PlayStation Vita. I'm gonna talk about that later.
Mm.
Cupid decided to redecorate the apartment, so you don't get to see it in your camera
Ew.
because that would mess up my rig. But it's very nice. Here, wait, I'll take a picture of it. That way you can actually see
Yeah.
it. But it's in the
Oh my
background.
gosh.
All right, so I'm gonna show Joy via.
Oh my God! It looks like it came out of a like Crate and Barrel catalog.
Okay, Cupid. She says it looks like it came from a Crate and Barrel catalog. All right, so it looks very nice. Okay, very
In a good way. Very good way.
very good way. And I want to say hello to our viewer or viewers. Hello.
Hey.
So yeah. So and then I've been doing some gaming as well. There was a blackout
Mm.
in the area. So yes.
Ah.
So we'll talk about that later. And how have you been during the break?
I've been doing wonderful. Definitely getting all the inspiration up. Feeling very hopeful for the future. Gaming, watching, trying to have some fun. So
Yes.
yeah, it's been great.
Ah. Oh, and we have Mr. Rick Brown. Rick Brown says,
Hi,
"Hello, finally home
Rick.
from the hospital." Yes, we didn't. I didn't. I per se
Yes,
didn't know that you were in the hospital, so I'm super happy that you are back. Hopefully, all is well.
yes, yes. Please, many blessings towards you. I don't know what happened. I saw little blips here and there, but I wasn't sure where you were. Like I didn't know what was going on with you, man. Like, but I pray so much. Please, I hope you're feeling better than ever. Thanks for coming back.
Woo. Um.
Mm.
Ooh. Can I do a little game talk first?
Yeah, let's
All
go.
right. So we are doing it to it. Look at us. We're like professionals here all of a sudden. Um.
Mm-hmm.
So. So during my vacation, I ended up buying a PlayStation Vita basically the day after I was talking to day after Nightcap. Okay, I was like, oh, I woke
Mm.
up and I was like, I want a PlayStation Vita. Literally, that's how it happened on YouTube. A video came up about like why the PlayStation Vita is so underrated. So I was like, I was like, I want the PlayStation Vita because I watched it and like the catalog
Mm.
being such a good catalog of games and how there's how's the remote play that way you're able to use your Vita to play your regular games on a mobile device as long as if you're at your home. I was like, oh man, that looks really good. So in the back of my mind, I was like, all right, I'm gonna like put it on my credit card for now, and then I'll like pay it off because I never do that sort of stuff. But I'm like, you know what? I want it.
No.
So lo and behold, I buy it with the intention of being able to play like Dead by Daylight and Friday the 13th like on the Vita in my bed. That way, Cupid could be happy that I was like in the bedroom,
But still
but
doing something.
still like
Mm.
I get to do what I want to do. But like I'm in like the bedroom, and
Mm.
that way like we'll have less problems at night. So
Mm.
so lo and behold, I get it home. I'm playing the PlayStation Vita in the living room. The R2, R3, and L2, L3 are on the screen. So you have just boom, boom. But for the other things, it's the screen. So it's a little wonky. I'm playing Dead by Daylight. I was like, oh, this is going to be hard. I ended up killing all four people my first game as a killer in Dead by Daylight playing the Vita. I was like, I was like, this is literally gonna. It's not necessarily easy. It's a little bit harder,
Mm.
but I can do it. So I'm gonna keep the system. Well,
Okay. Wow.
exactly. I was like, this is awesome, blah, blah, blah. Lo and behold, it's nighttime. It's nighttime, and I'm in the bedroom, and I'm trying to make it work. And I live in a one-bedroom apartment. Lo and behold, it did not work past the walls in the one-bedroom apartment.
Oh
All
no.
right, it's the like
What?
2.5 like gigahertz like internet connection because it's not 5.0.
Mm-hmm.
So lo and behold, I was like, basically the only reason why I got the Vita was for remote play to be able to play my games in the bedroom. I was like, this is not
Yeah.
working. So then, lo and behold, the next night I put my laptop on the computer. I put the laptop in the bed, and I had my remote control, and I was doing remote play with my Mac. So I was like, there we go. I
Dang.
was like, and I returned it. Funny story. Funny story
Dang.
about I was thinking about trading in my Nintendo 3DS. They told me that they would give me $50 for it. They were selling the model that was older than mine for $90. A guy like traded in like whatever he had like a return or something because he didn't like his Nintendo 2DS. And I like said
Mm.
to him, I was like as the guy was like near, I was like, I'll give this to you for the same amount of money, and I'll give you the Pokemon game in it.
Oh shoot! Oh my
Because I was
god!
like,
Did you guys do it?
he didn't do it. I don't think he had cash on him, but I tried. I had to try it just because in the back of my mind, I'm like, you'd be getting a better quality device, a game, and I'll give you the cord, which it doesn't even come with the system. So he didn't do it, and I'm
Dude.
happy he didn't do it. And then I started playing Pilot Wings after the fact.
Pilot
Yeah, it's
wings.
like it's a game that I had, um, like
Oh,
an
okay.
old school game. So that was me with the PS Vita. I was the proud owner of a
Oh
Vita,
my
and
god.
then I returned it.
Got rid of it. Jeez. What a short life.
But it was great.
Did you buy it new or
I bought it.
used?
I bought it used. There are no new Vitas, or at least not at GameStop.
Shoot. Oh.
Yeah, because
Oh,
it's at the
okay.
end of that cycle.
Oh, I didn't. I
Yeah,
mean, I didn't even think about the Vita until now. Shoot.
yeah. The Vita is at the end of the
Oh.
cycle, and if it, my one bedroom apartment, if I could run the remote play using the Vita, I would have a Vita. And I
Yeah.
don't feel like that's too much to request of the Vita.
No, I mean, lucky people even wanted it in the first place. Because people barely didn't even want it. Ooh, and also, like, you're probably
Yeah.
responding to it now, but I'm so
Oh yeah.
sorry, Rick. I just that's really tough. So I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
And whatever we can do to help you or at least assist you, for sure, we'll do our best. Okay. But thank you for even
Oh
watching
yeah.
us. We should
And
be
thank
going
you
to
for
sleep.
keeping us updated with all the stuff. And I hope
Yeah, please.
everything is either 100% or nearly there. That's
Yeah.
as somebody that works in a rehab facility, I see it all.
Yeah.
Um,
Mm.
let's see. And then wait a minute. Speaking of devices, I think later on we're going to be talking about you possibly wanting a new something or other.
Yeah. I started to ask around, and we might get to that. Who knows?
Ooh. All right, we're gonna. That was a little teaser for what's coming up next, or not next, but like what's gonna be coming up. Um, speaking of video gaming, you said that you replayed
Heavy rain.
Heavy Rain, or as I like to call it, Heavy Decision Making.
Oh yes, yes, it was.
Uh,
It was very fun.
I was gonna. I don't think very fun and Heavy Rain belong in the same
Oh,
sentence.
no, no, it was very nostalgic to go through it
Yeah.
again. I I've mentioned it a bunch of times in the stream. When I first played this, I had my grandmother to help me make these life threatening decisions. But now doing it on Twitch, it still was scary, but it was a lot more fun to go through it as an adult, I guess. Because I played it in college, and I was like, I don't know this stuff. And now
You're like, I'm just a
I'm an
kid. I
adult.
don't know.
I don't know what to do. I'm not trying to be nobody's father. saving of my son. What? So
Yeah.
yeah, it was very heavy, and it was cool because I was able to keep people alive the whole way through, which I did not do the last time.
Oh,
So kudos to me.
cheater.
No, this time I actually was better at the different button mashing, like when the things blip up. What are those? The frequent
The
not
quick time
frequencies.
events, QTEs.
Yes, yes, I was so much better with that. So that it helped a lot.
Ah. Uh, and then gaming wise, I bought I'm I'm doing this thing where
What are
I
you doing?
have an idea and I'm like I'm gonna do this thing and I end up like buying the thing. So I've been
Okay.
watching. So I don't know if you, Rodney or Rick, are aware. There's a role playing game called Vampire the Masquerade. It's part of
Hmm.
World of Darkness. And years ago, in 2004, they made a video game based on this tabletop game called Vampire the Masquerade and Bloodlines. And so, if I showed you the picture of like the vampire girl with like the like schoolgirl skirts, like two blonde ponytails, and like a shirt that's like basically just like a bra or like tied up, you
Yeah.
would know the cover of the game. It was slightly
Hmm.
before our time, like we were like a little too young for it, but I know you would know what the game looked like. And
Okay.
I basically the 15 years later they're coming out with a sequel for the game, and I've been watching this girl on YouTube talk about all these different like basically like the different houses or the different clans that you could play as the playable clans. And I was like, "Oh man, that seems really cool." So I went on GOG and I bought Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines, the first game, a 15-year-old game,
Hmm.
and I like installed Wine and I got it like working with everything. And so I played that
Yeah.
game and it was so much fun. It was so much.
Chris is agreeing with you.
Chris.
Chris is agreeing with you hardcore.
Oh, I'm so happy because normally I'm like, oh, I'm gonna tell you guys about this thing. I feel like the crowd, they like your stuff and my stuff. I'm like, I'm gonna tell you about this mid-century blah 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 thing that I'm watching. I was watching Downton Abbey, and I know that our viewers are like, but I'm like, but that's what
It's
I
like
watched.
what?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Um,
no, be
yes.
honest with
So
yourself.
Vampire Masquerade Bloodlines. Let's see. So Chris is saying, um, let's see. Chris is saying he used to play the tabletop. The new game looks kind of cool, but it's no D&D.
Mm.
That is true. Speaking of D&D, I friends of
I've done that
friends of
too.
mine, we are going to be doing D&D. I created a character sheet. But speaking of Vampire Bloodlines, so my first character that I played the game through as is a Tremere, and they are blood casters. So they're like magical vampires. So like they can like like damage people with like it's kind of like a mage.
Okay.
So I could like
I've
I could
never.
damage people
I
with
don't know.
blood, and there are like all these different like routes that I could take as far as bringing up my character stats, and it was so much fun. And at the beginning of the game, they have you take a personality test, and based on the
Oh.
personality test, they give you a clan, um, or
Oh. Wow.
uh, yeah, a clan. So yeah, so I got Tremere, which I didn't think I would get, and the next time I'm like playing it right now, I'm like trying to get through it real fast just to see the
Yeah.
differences between the different types, and I'm playing a group called the Malkavians, and Joy, these people are nuts. So basically, the gist of them is that they are insane. They are
Hmm.
insane as all get up. But the thing about it is that voices speak to them. So like I could be walking around and like I could be like, "Oh my gosh, this looks amazing." Like items could talk to them. But the thing about it
Wow.
is that so half of their insanity is just pure insanity, and the other half of it is like the truth. but you have to like cut.
Oh
So
wow.
they're like clairvoyants. So you just have to like cut through the BS in order to find the truth. So like the reason why they say you shouldn't play as a Malkavian is because first and foremost their dialogue is like effed up. Like everything, like none of it makes sense. And then secondly, if you're talking to like some of the people, before you even know it, like the voices in their head will call them a liar. So like they're like basically saying like don't trust this person before you even know it.
Oh
Yeah, no, so
my God.
they're like crazy, so that's why I wanted to play them next. And luckily for me, since I literally just played it, I still know where everything is located, so I'm able to get it through fairly fast. I'm almost done actually, the second playthrough. It's only been a day.
Awesome.
So
My
so
gosh.
sorry about all of that.
Sorry. Why would you say sorry?
Uh
It reminded me of Castlevania. Like watching. So all of that reminded me of Castlevania
oh.
for some weird reason.
Oh, and guess what? And it takes place in California.
Oh,
Los
I didn't know that.
Angeles and downtown and let's see. Oh my gosh, Chris is saying, ha ha ha, Malkavians are batshit. They absolutely are.
They seem
But
like
he
it.
agrees that the vampire clans are actually pretty neat. And that, I think that's part of the reason why I ended up playing it, was because each of the gameplay is very different. Yeston, I don't think that's the type of blood that they have, but I don't know.
I don't know. I read that and I was like, huh?
Oh,
I don't
and
know.
Chris, speaking of D&D, a slight detour, just a really quick detour. Joy, I'm so sorry. I have a character
No,
sheet.
please.
I don't have a character name yet, but just to let you know, with friends of mine, we are going to be playing. I think it's like a one shot, but if we decided to take the characters on a real thing, we can, like a true campaign. But I decided to go the opposite. Normally, I'd be like, I want to be like a very good-looking rogue. That's like where I go to instantly. So I'm like, no, I don't want to do that. So I am a barbarian orc who is very strong and who is very charismatic, which doesn't make sense. But in my mind, I think of him as like a big burly bear. Like at like a gay bar, like, hey! Like he could like bash in your brains, but like he'd
Like, what's
prefer
up?
not to. So like I'm like I want to be like a protector, but I don't necessarily want to do that first. And so the way that the DM sort of works it, I got to pick out two of the things out of his normal for the skills. I picked out two of the things from the normal things. So that was athletics, because I wanted to be able to bear hug people and kill them, as well as the regular intimidation, which he gets. One, two, and then perception. I went with perception, and then for the two other ones that didn't have to be in his class, I went with persuasion and sleight of hand, which doesn't necessarily make sense, but I wanted persuasion because I wanted him to be very super charismatic. And then the way that RDM works it, because if you're half human, you get to pick a feat. Well, he's like, that's effed up, because everybody always just wants to be a half human, so everybody gets a feat.
Yeah, that's
like,
not good.
everybody gets a feat, I don't care. Like, what's something that you want to do? And I was like, I want my character to be able to tap dance.
Oh my God.
And he was like, wait, he's like, I can make that work. And so, so basically, I got an excellence in performance, and so anytime my full orc tap dances, I can zero in on one person, and they are enamored with me, and they just pay attention to me and only me. And I am so happy about that, because in my mind, I'm like, he does this. He like dances at the full orc festival, like these like these like very stern people.
Yeah. Are you okay?
Oh yeah, I just got like 1,000 text messages.
Oh my God.
Sorry. So yes, So he tap dances at the full orc festival, and it's like a big deal. So I got the negative points in intelligence because I went full orc, because for role playing purposes I wanted him to be like very like heritage heavy. Um,
Okay. As you're saying that, I'm also reading the characters that I didn't. I actually also have a Dungeons and Dragons character that I never got to play because I was too busy to meet up with the guys to do this shit. I mean, this thing. Um, but I mean, the guy. Shout out to the guys who invited me, and the guy who actually drew my character. I'll try to show it on here. I named her, and I know the race and the class, and the alignment and the background. But other than that, everything else here looks like ridiculous. I don't know what else, how to make it, or how to do it, or how to talk about it. I guess it just there's a lot. There's a whole PDF of
yeah,
things. So I actually have a side question. Since I'm not, could I take this character on the road to someone else's like D&D thing,
yeah.
or does it have to be
You
this?
know what? I would first things first. I would, if it's a PDF, I would send it to the DM just to make sure that there wasn't any homebrew rules with it. Like, so typically I wouldn't have that extra feat that I have. Like, I would have to
Okay.
end up earning or whatever with the feat. So if there was any like slight detours that they took, they'll be like, wait, this doesn't make sense, and then you can adjust it on hand. But if you give it to them beforehand, especially if it's a group that's already working together, you would have like a session
Oh.
zero where you set things up. But you could say like, hey, like this could be a good baseline. Either we could use this exactly, or you could help me mold it into whatever would work better for your game. Just because
Okay.
the person that helped you set it up, they, you know what I mean? Like, they might have done something that's considered homebrew. Oh, look at
But
you! Oh, I was gonna say she's pretty. She's a bard. She's a violinist bard, huh?
oh my God, how do you know?
Because she's got a musical instrument. She's a bard.
Oh yeah, bam.
Yeah,
Look, I don't even.
yeah. No, no, I.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that's cute.
It says my background is an
Mm-hmm.
entertainer, and my alignment is chaotic
Okay.
good,
Yeah.
and I'm a tiefling. I don't know, like it seemed good.
Yeah, I don't know what a tiefling is, but so chaotic good, which means like uh, you probably just a big old cinnamon roll. You're like, oh, what, huh? Like I want to make
Yes.
stuff. Like she's probably like manic all the time, so she's ruled by her id. That's what I would think. So she's like, huh? She's like, what? I want gold. Huh? You got cinnamon rolls? I want them. Let's give them to all the people. Um,
Oh God, that's
Yes,
me. Oh,
basically. So she's like,
I made her
she's
me.
like chaotic. So she's like all over the place, but she is still good, as opposed to being like chaotic evil, where it's like, oh, I'm gonna kill the people. How can I? Yeah,
Oh.
or like neutral, meaning like just middle of the road. You could do whatever you want. Uh,
Hmm.
yeah,
Is there any other thing I should uh put? I was trying to like when I was talking to the
hmm,
guy on what to do. He was like, "Well, how do you want her to be?" And I was like, I had to really figure out like a whole
yeah,
story, which was great. I enjoyed the story
yeah.
part, but I was just like, I don't know what I put. Um. Oh, okay. So I put for I guess my life story. My black ass dad had sex with a black ass demon, and then dad left cause demon, mom left cause whatever, and then my name is Ami Ruse.
Oh,
Kind of like ammo, but like
yeah,
Ami. And then Ruse, I forgot why I put that. I made up the name. I just don't remember why I made up the name.
huh.
I can't even remember. But yeah, I just made her. I told her the guy to just make her look like Janelle Monae if she was a tiefling.
Oh,
So make her black, make her look Janelle Monae-ish, and I like violins. And then I want it to look like uh, Eevee because I love that's
oh.
my favorite Pokemon. So I needed to have braided hair to be brown, and Eevee Pokemon brown she black yo, purplish royal like it's just the way that he wrote the
Yeah.
description. I'm just reading it
Yeah, he
back.
like
Like
took he
what?
took all the keywords that you wanted, and he checklist made sure, bing bang boom, it was all good.
So yeah, hopefully if we ever get to be in a D&D thing, I would love to be able to play this
Yeah,
person for
yeah.
real.
Um, I
It's lit.
I I was texting. I was typing to the chat to Chris. I'm like, Chris, you should run a D&D group on stream.
Yeah, that'd be
Yes,
cool.
and me and Joy would sign up.
Yeah, I would love to do
Yeah,
that because I never got a chance.
yeah. I would like to do that, and see, I was a little shy, which is why. Well, that and I already knew that we had a bard. Um, I
Oh,
Ragnarok style. I want to be a bard, but I want to be a dancer. That's what I really want. I want to be.
so you want to be a bard
I want to be a
dancer
gypsy dancer, and like just like
instead of
lure
a
other
hard
people
dancer?
and just like. But I was too shy. But then when it came to like picking stuff out, I'm like, I want to be a tap dancer, just because I wanted to see how it would work. So.
I think it was a great decision.
Woohoo! Yes, basically just I wanted him to be a big old bear.
But you have at home, but not really. I don't want to call it that.
He'd be so upset. Um,
Yeah, so I was like, not that.
all right. So, I was trying to wait until Rodney got here. Yeah, Rodney is here.
Oh my God! Hey, Rodney.
So Mr. Rodney is here.
Yeah.
Excellent. So Mr. Rodney is here. So I wanted to wait about the computer thing, to talk about the computer thing until Rodney got here because I know him, Chris, even Rick could probably help you with this because I can't help you with it. So, Joy, what do you want to do?
Okay, so I want to be able to run my Elgato
Mhm.
equipment through a simple setup, but not my Mac because the Mac is like too much. So I was thinking in the beginning to do like a simple gaming laptop because all I'm going to put on there is just the Elgato
Yeah.
stuff so I can run and OBS through the laptop and maybe upgrade that. So I put the inquiry to Facebook, and I also asked Black Girl Gamers on their Discord server just to figure out like a good spread of people to talk to. And I had the suggestions of building my own
Yes.
desktop. So then I'm like, is this the part where I have to start asking for parts? Like now I gotta build the daggone thing, like a tower. Like I have to build a desktop, like with the monitor, and I don't know
Um,
if I want to do all that.
um, I was gonna say it doesn't. I don't think it. I think they're ending it. I was gonna say. I was like,
Ending it.
So there was a web show for like 3 or 4 years, and then before it, it was a different show, tech thing, which used to be Techzilla, and like you could basically email them and just be like, hey, I was wondering, I want like a I want a gaming PC, or I want a PC that is basically just going to be used for broadcasting and just to capture, so something that could capture and run blah 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 intensive stuff, and I have about this much money. And like if you did that, like they would like in their episodes they'd be like, oh, and they would give you like options for different builds.
Really?
Yeah, yeah. Like, so they would like start with like saying like some instances they'd be like, oh, okay, like this is a good base model, and then all you need to do is upgrade this, or this. Um,
Which I would love
yeah,
to.
because
Yeah.
that's instead of going ground floor, just because you've never really done that before. Um, um, Chris is saying if you're not looking to stream or play really high def or heightened games, there are probably plenty of affordable PCs that you're looking for already built. Um, uh, Rodney says
Well,
those are
no.
called barebone computers.
No, I plan on streaming. Like I'm making Twitch like the thing I
No, no,
do
no.
weekly.
But what
What
he's
do you
saying
mean?
is that since you're using, you want to use your desk, you want to use your desktop primarily to be able to receive the Elgato and to be able to broadcast, right?
Yes.
Okay, so it's not like, so the reason why you don't need a heavy duty gaming PC is because it's not like you're trying to run like Fallout 4 from a PC and broadcast it from your PC. So
No.
that's why you
Yeah.
don't need to go heavy duty for the specs, because you're basically just trying to receive all the information, and it just needs to be good enough to send out to receive the information and send it out in high quality. Yeah,
Yes, that's what I
yes.
want.
So you don't have to go super expensive. And the good thing too is that instead of going laptop, you definitely want to go desktop. And the reason why is that way you can upgrade everything yourself. Because
Okay.
when it comes to laptops, everything's soldered on. So it's like super
Oh.
hard to upgrade anything with a laptop. For the most part, you really can't, or you really
Don't
shouldn't.
even.
Um,
Mm.
that's what I've always heard, unless it's like crazy, like Alienware, like meant to blah blah blah. But you don't need the power for that. You just need the power for your computer to receive Elgato and to be able to use OBS or other, or what's it called, XSplit or something, and to be able to send that out.
Yeah.
That's what I'm thinking. But Rodney says, yeah, those are called bare bone computers. Um,
Good learning experience. Cause for that, like that, my main thing now is if I'm gonna buy a desktop, where the heck am I putting it? Like, where am I gonna put that thing? That and do I need a monitor for that thing? Like, I don't. Do I just need to buy the tower? Is that what we're talking about? The desktop is the
Yes,
tower.
yes. The desktop is the tower. I wonder. I don't know, because I know you already have a Mac. I don't know if there's a way that you could hook in the tower to like HDMI something to be able to use that monitor to like to port that desktop into your computer, into the laptop.
That's what I'm trying to.
Yeah.
I'm trying to figure
No, no, no,
this
no.
this
And
thing out.
the only reason why
Hmm.
I don't know if that's possible, like with third party software, it probably is possible. It's just because it's not
Hmm.
because iOS, because Mac OS and PC probably they don't want to play nice. But I use,
Hmm.
like, for my computer, I always use Wineskin, and so that means that I don't have to boot camp my Mac to play PC games. It just skins
Hmm.
it that way. It thinks that it's a PC. So it's
But it's not.
Yes. So basically, it's just running the game as a PC exe, as
Hmm.
opposed to it wanting to. I don't know if any of this makes sense. Chris, do I make sense?
Sorta. I mean, I'm only worried. I mean, because I could, because I was reading about Rodney's thing too, so I'm listening to you and also reading what he's saying. I could fit something because Bibi and I were talking about going to
Yeah.
Target or going somewhere because I do have like all my consoles. I would love to have like a thing where I can separate all the consoles and put it
Oh,
underneath the TV.
like I have.
Yeah, I would. I want something like that because currently the setup is an outside table and then a large plank of
Oh
wood,
no.
and that's where I put the TV on because I just this was just temporary things.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So
No, no, no. That's Yeah. Um. So.
yeah, not
So.
good.
So I think the general consensus is that basically you're looking for something with pretty good. Oh, of course. I'm like, it says unable to connect to chat. Thank you. I was gonna say, because when you kept on saying like, oh yeah, the chat, I'm like, I don't see anything. Um.
Because clearly
Yeah.
you're not involved in the chat. Oh my god.
Oh yeah. Uh.
So I guess then I have to do that. I have to, but then I gotta. Now that's the next step. What?
I'm like trying to reload my chat now, since I don't see what's going on. Yeah, Rodney and Chris, they'll be able to point you in in a good direction. Good learning experience.
Because now I'm just kind of googling best desktop tower for
Yeah.
streaming.
Yeah.
Because I don't know. I don't need something that's like mad
Yeah.
crazy, but something that's powerful enough to, like you said, to get the information,
Yeah.
receive the information, and
Yeah.
broadcast it.
That's why I'm thinking you don't even have to go you don't have to go like super high with any of the specs or anything. It just needs to be fast enough to be able to do video editing. That's it. Um,
Yeah.
in fact, one of the girls, Shannon Morris Snubs from Tech Thing, she
Hmm.
one of the things that she picked for like she was like doing laptops that were good for gaming, but like medium ground as far as cost wise. And she was
Yeah.
like, oh, she's like, what's the equivalent of gaming as far as the hardware of a computer? And she's like, video editing. So she was like looking at the specs because they are video editors. Like they have to edit their stuff. Her and Patrick Norton.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
I don't. I'm just like I'm very happy because I I'm happy that I was one of the things that I watch. I have become like I watch so much YouTube. It's not even funny. Uh,
You're a
I
YouTubeaholic.
actually am. Don't get me started on Tati. I've been watching all of her videos for no apparent reason because I do not wear
Tati?
makeup. Um,
Who's Tati?
she's the one that had the thing with James Charles.
Oh, okay. I like
Yes.
her. I liked her. She seemed like a real chick.
I like her a lot, and it's funny because Cupid is like pro James Charles, and I'm like, oh.
Oh
So like every time he sees
no.
me like watching a Tati video, like I just hear James Charles's like dumb mouth in the background. I'm like, shut
Oh
up. I'm
no.
like, how dare you? Um, so
I hate that feud even happened because it made me think about makeup
yeah,
and having to watch that girl's video for 40 something minutes.
you wanna hear
Oh
something
my
crazy about that
gosh.
video? I watched that video
What
twice.
happened? Oh God,
Yeah.
no,
Like
no. I watched it once.
speaking of like videos that like I shouldn't watch, I also watch there's a girl that ages ago she did a thing called Polish Mountain where she did 100
Hmm.
layers of nail polish challenge. But she
Oh.
actually she also like did nail art too. And I watch Simply Nailogical all the time, but like when I'm bored, I'll just have it on in the background and I swear some videos I have rewatched like 6 or 7 times. I'm worse than a child.
Oh God. See, that's a lot. And by the way, I am typing out your suggestions, what you're putting on the chat. So I'm not ignoring it. I'm actually going to start typing it out so that I could, you know, uh, get get working on this too. Because I do plan on making Twitch like a part-time job, if not a full-time job. So
Yes.
let's get to work. That's why I'm
You
asking as
you
well.
do you boo. You do you boo.
Thank you.
Oh, I'm so excited. You're making my happy little heart happy. And I knew that our viewer base this is like their shtick.
Which I'm like, please. Now that I'm at that point in my life where I can think about that stuff, because I honestly, if I could just, this is as streamlined as I'm
Yeah.
getting. PlayStation 4 and the
Yeah.
camera, like,
No.
bam.
Oh no.
And I'm happy that I have high speed internet ish. But
Yeah.
yes, go ahead.
Who me?
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
you
go
know
ahead.
what? I'm very happy that even because it's not like I don't have like the world's best setup because I have the same computer that Joy has. My saving grace is the fact that I figured out how to set up my AverMedia video capture card.
What?
My capture card
Yes.
works fine with my OBS. I don't know if it's because like I fiddle around the settings a little bit more. But I'm the AverMedia. It works out pretty well. Like being able to stream. The only problem that I have is that my thing is so far away, and I think Cupid would kill me if I
Oh.
if I
If you brought that in the
no.
background?
If I had like HDMI cords to be able to like stream on like to like stream on the couch.
Oh,
Like
okay,
that's the only thing
okay.
that's like hard about like streaming with the console, because my desk is on one side and my television's on the other side. So then I have to
Uh,
make like a little rig setup over by the TV, and I'm like, and like when he walks in, I'm just like, I'm
my
like,
bad.
stop it. I'm like, please don't say anything. It reminds me of that video. Did you see that video where that like that guy like beat the crap out of his like girlfriend on a stream? He was like he was like
Oh,
streaming, and like Cupid always laughs at me because he's like, you're gonna do that to me.
oh God,
And you
oh
hear like the
no.
babies crying in the background, and he's just, it's all like, it's not laughable really, but the weirdest thing is that on that stream, I think he had like 2 or 3 people watching,
Oh
and he
God.
didn't want to.
They just watched him?
And I think they like ended up calling the police or something. Like somebody like called the
Oh.
police, but yeah, he just like, like wailed on his like girlfriend, baby mama. I don't know. It was on the news. It was on the news, but um,
Oh my God. This is insane. Like I can't. I can't.
oh,
Oh no. Okay.
oh my gosh, I think.
One Emma. Because now I'm truly I'm reading you guys. I'm reading Rodney. I'm reading Chris. Like I'm taking the notes down. I'm just like,
Oh
wait.
my gosh, and Chris just helped me out. He said wireless keyboard.
Really?
Wait a minute. He said wireless webcam and wireless keyboard. That way you don't have to be by your computer. Keep on your pause stream and other stuff to make it easier. Oh.
Hmm. Wait. Game. Well, no, I don't want to game with my computer.
No, no, no. I think he was talking about me.
Okay. I was like, I don't want to game with my computer. I just want to game with my PS4.
Okay, okay. Oh, look at this.
Look at that kitty.
This is my
Hi, Joe.
kitty. This is Josephine. It's Josephine
Hey.
Praline. She was a character in Angela Anaconda, but also her name is Joe, like Joe from um, Little Women, which there's gonna be a new Little Women movie coming out. I love her so much.
Oh, she's used to you more.
Yeah, well, that's because it's funny. She likes to be pet on her neck. I know it sounds weird. She likes it when I hold her neck. And also, she likes it when you
Huh.
go like this. When you like, she doesn't like to be
Mess
pet.
with her.
She doesn't like to be pet. She likes, like, if you like rub her face like this, like give her like a facelift, it's so
Oh.
weird. Because if you give her like regular pets, she
She's
jumps
like,
off
what are you
immediately.
doing?
But like look at this. Okay.
Maybe it reminds her of coming out of the womb.
Maybe. Or also, I think I heard something about pheromones coming off of their cheeks. Aw, she's not comfortable, but that's because I got like my wire. All right, you can go. Okay. Sorry, we
Okay.
had a little kitten talk. Um, all right, they are
It's okay.
sincerely giving you like a lot of information.
They're giving us information because I don't know where I'm supposed to stop now because I'm not planning on gaming from the
No,
computer. I
no,
don't
no,
want to
no,
do
no,
that.
no.
So that's you, right?
No,
Like you
just
said.
yeah, for the keyboard. That's for me.
But what's one MS? One MS? Is that micro?
Millisecond.
Oh, wait.
One
You
or
said
two
you need a
second response
monitor.
time, preferably one
Oh,
millisecond.
okay. So that's still not
Yeah, that's
me.
still about you. The only Chris was just
Mm.
referring to me. Millisecond. Yeah.
Oh,
Um,
look at you doing your tech stuff.
all right, so now it's time for something I like to call Ricky's boring corner. All
No.
right. So yes, and Chris did say wireless statement was for me. So
Okay,
this is
thank God.
this
I
is
was like, what?
Ricky's boring corner. This is the
Oh
point in the web
God.
show where Ricky talks about something that he finds absolutely fantastic, and he is 99% certain that the only people that agree with him are old ladies, which does not include our fan base. So we have this part of the show just for old ladies
You.
and me. I've been watching.
Okay.
I just binged the show Harlots. Oh, I don't know if you
Harlots.
can see the cat in the background is like climbing. Yeah,
No.
she's like on the thing.
Yeah, but
Okay, you can't see it, Joy. They can. Um,
yeah.
all right, so there's a show called Harlots on Hulu, and it's about during the olden days in London, apparently, I think it's like 1 or 2 out of 10 women, like, like sold their bodies for money. Like that was like a viable job. So basically,
I'm
it's
intrigued.
about like these like boarding houses, where these ladies sold their bodies, and it's about like these two like dueling houses, and it is absolutely fantastic. And then there's like this woman and her daughter, and they are like church Bible belt thumping, like preaching across the street
Mm.
from the people. And there's like some lesbian action with like one of the street
Oh.
ones, with like one of the streetwalkers, and she's black and she's so pretty. um
Oh.
yeah, it's like it's absolutely fantastic. And like the mother, she's got this beautiful daughter who's still a virgin. I think she's like 16 years old, 16 or 17. And so she's like she's trying to better herself. So like her older daughter, she's like the highest bidder gets her virginity, and she ends up like getting
Mm.
like 50 pounds or something, like, for her virginity, but she ends up selling it twice. So
Oh.
yeah, yeah. So like she sells it
Ah.
twice, and like it's so good. And like the older daughter, she's like, so like the younger daughter like doesn't know what she's doing. She's like a virgin, but like she's like a super virgin. Like she doesn't even like want to like learn about sex. But like the older daughter,
Oh.
she's like witty, and like she's such a great like she is good at it.
Mm.
So it's got everything you want, and the third season is now currently airing on Hulu, and it is fantastic. And so if you think you might like a show that is about sex, very tongue in cheek, but that will sort of change the way that we think about ye olden days, because we like to think like, oh my gosh, nowadays everybody's so promiscuous. Like, no, they were getting it on everywhere. You just didn't know about it.
I just reached out to my friend Ariel to be like, "Where's that Hulu access at?" Because she said that she was gonna make an account for me because I don't have Hulu,
Yeah, yeah. So
and I'm just like, "Yo," because that sounds like a show I want
that's
to watch.
it's actually it's so funny. It's so good. Oh, and my favorite character, I would role play as this character. There's this character. So basically, I'm giving myself one more minute. Basically, the, her the mother of like the girls, she has her own boarding, and she has her own house. All right, she's a bard or a broad. Um, so she has her own house, and the lady that she's dueling with, lo and behold, slight spoiler, you learn it very fast. She
Oh.
actually previously was a prostitute she was a harlot for the other house that she's currently against. But like as like a child,
Oh.
like that lady is wrong. Like
Oh.
she's wrong. Like the mother, she's in it for the girls sort of thing. And like that lady, she
Yeah.
like locks the doors. Like they have absolutely no freedom in that other lady's house.
Oh God.
So her and her best friend, they ended up like escaping. They like made it on their own, which it was super crazy. Like didn't happen. And like so, her friend, her friend is like a dominatrix. So like, but she like looks like a
Oh.
pirate. She like looks like a pirate. Her name is Nancy. She looks like a pirate. She's like tough as dirt. She's like fucking amazing. I would roleplay as Nancy. She's fucking awesome. She literally looks like a pirate. She walks around. She walks around with like a broom. Like she walks around with like her beating stick that like she hits men with. But like that's how she walks around
Oh.
on the streets. Like people don't mess with her. Oh yeah, she's amazing. I love Nancy. Um,
I would like. I'm trying to get my friend right now
so
to be like, "Hey."
oh, Rodney was like,
She
oh wow,
said
haha.
she said it's on her list too, but she hasn't watched it. So I'm just like, okay, I want
I
to
was
watch
gonna,
it. Let's go.
it's so funny. 3 years ago, I watched, I think either one or two. I watched 2 episodes when I was sick, and I was like, oh, this is a really good show. And then
Mm.
I didn't watch it anymore. And so while I was playing Vampire the Masquerade, I figured, okay, like I'm gonna just like put that on in the background. I'm gonna put it on the background, and
Huh.
see.
Uh-oh. I Rodney, I totally noticed. He said it like 3 times. I was like, wow, bro, like he's really going for it. I said shit, but he was like, awesome. Oh, I was like, okay, we going for it
All
now.
right. So, just in case the webcam viewer or the future viewers are not going to see this, I cursed like 3 times. I said a bad word 3 times because I was very enthusiastic. And I know it was when I was talking about Nancy. I know.
I'll say my word one more time to match you.
Okay.
Shit.
All right.
And I did.
That doesn't even. We'll get it in editing. It's funny. We've had this web show for so long. I'm like, I don't edit anything. Like it's concrete.
It's fine. People know words.
So that was Harlots. You said that you watched something Roger Dodger Danger Dopper.
What? No. No. Rover Red Charlie is a book.
Oh, Rover Red Charlie. It's a book. Actually,
yeah, that's a book.
Oh wait, Rodney. Technically, we are still PG-13, and the reason why we are PG-13 is because in a PG-13 movie, you are allowed to say that 4-letter word once.
Oh, once, huh?
Yes. All right. So Ranger Danger Roger Dodger is a book.
Oh Jesus. Yeah, so we're not on books yet. I just wanted to make sure I brought up a video game, a book, and a TV show that I've watched.
Okay. Oh.
But Rover Red Charlie is not it's a book. Yeah. No, it's okay.
What was the TV show?
I feel sad now. Because you brought up that whole amazing show that clearly other people would be interested in, and you called it your boring corner. Which is not boring. The show I watched this on a binge because I was taking my I was trying to wrap my hair, so just something to put on, and it's called Family Reunion on Netflix. And the main reason why I wanted to watch it was because it had Tia and Tamara, but just Tia. I forgot her last name. Yeah, Tia Mowry. She was in it. She plays a mom now, which is cool. You can see her. She's getting older, and she's gotten a little bigger, which I liked. So, that one was good. I enjoyed it personally. They had nice jokes that I had to actually explain to Bibi. There were certain black people things and black people jokes, and this is not to make fun of her.
No. It's just that's normal.
Yeah, so, she was, okay, I'll mention this one example, because I said this before. So, there was one part in the show where they referenced the kid, or somebody getting, you better go outside and get a Switch.
Yeah.
And whatever. So, she was like, what do they mean by that? What is that? And I was like, the Switch. And then I was thinking, not Nintendo Switch, but, an actual Switch. Yeah. So she's like, what is that? And then I had to explain about, black parents are so barbaric that they would get their child to go outside and pick a weapon for their parents to hit them with, like a branch. So she was like, what? And I was like, yeah. So besides all of the certain black people purposely stereotype tropes, I enjoyed it, but a lot of people on social media did not like specifically the person they chose for the oldest daughter. There's Tia, like I said, Tia's a mother. Her husband was a football player who recently retired, and they lived in Seattle, the whitest place. So they went from Seattle to visit their the husband's family in Georgia. So they went from hella white to hella black. And they have the daughter, she's light skinned. They made her the most white looking and white sounding, but she's not really in touch with her blackness. And all the other kids are good.
That makes sense because of where she was raised.
Oh, completely,
But she
completely. Which
didn't have
I
to.
like
But she
that.
didn't have to look white. Like not look white. Oh my
No.
god. Ugh. She didn't have
Well,
to. She didn't have
yeah.
to be light skin in order to. You could be any skin tone and be any blah blah blah.
Yeah, I mean, I know they did that for on purpose because there are, of course, the whole light skin, dark skin. Like black people just treat each other horribly in terms of just skin
Yeah.
tone,
No, no, no.
but they didn't. A lot of black people didn't like the girls acting,
Okay.
like the oldest girls acting, and they didn't like the fact that they made her put on a wig to display African American feature like hair textures and hair features. They're like they messed that up on her. Yeah. Like she was wearing a braided wig and you can tell that the wig was fake. They're like, come on. How you gonna have a show about black people and you gonna F that up? So honestly, like there are some flaws here and there, but they did touch upon a lot of common African American trials and
Yeah.
tribulations and fun and stuff. So I enjoyed it. It was nice to be able to watch that and also get like wow. And then I guess the cherry on top that I want to say was that they had a lot of cameos from former sitcom stars from back in the 90s,
Oh, see, that's
which
like a
was
reason
really
enough for
cool.
people to like tune in. Like,
Which I didn't see enough people say that. There's like, oh, that girl, they messed up that girl's hair, blah blah blah. But I'm like, did you catch that Steve Urkel was literally a guest? Did you catch that Rudy from the Cosby Show was a guest? Did you catch Mark Curry from Hanging with Mr. Cooper? Did you catch like there was just so many black people that guest starred on the show? Come on, like it was so fun to see them again. Yeah, good.
question: do you think the reason why this is gonna sound awful? Do you
No,
think
no,
the
no.
reason why people didn't mention that was because they had no idea?
Yes, full
Because they are like
belief. That's why.
younger. Because like we're mid millennials, but like there are
Yeah.
younger millennials that like would be like hanging with Mr. Cooper, like like Urkel,
Yo,
like
I paused.
yes.
I paused and I was like, "Oh my god!" And baby was like, "What? Like, who is that?" And I actually confused two different shows. I was so mad
Yeah.
at the end because I was like, that thing with the thing. And no,
But you knew,
but yeah,
you knew
I
to be
knew.
excited. So they had, so
Yeah,
they probably didn't have any idea.
no, most likely the generation these days. And I feel like I should have tweeted that after I finished it because I really don't think people knew. And no, Sinbad wasn't a guest star. I'm sure they probably want him for season 2 though. Like I'm sure they're gonna get more people in there. But I was like, wow, this was nice because I'm realizing, excuse me, as I was going through the show, there aren't any black family wholesome sitcom shows. Like there used to be a bunch of them in the 90s, and there's not that
Okay, I was gonna be
many.
like Blackish.
Yes, there's Blackish, and there's going to be Mixed-ish, but I personally haven't even seen
Yeah,
Blackish. I never seen, and I know it's perfect for me. I should have
I.
seen it. I never
Yeah.
watched it.
You know what? That might have been like the
Let's
me
see.
with Glee thing. Like I didn't watch
Ah,
Glee because I was like, it's too close to home. Like I don't like it's fine. Like and
I'm the opposite
and I
then.
was gonna say, and for you it might be like, yeah, that explains like exactly kind of how I feel right now. Like that's a good
Yeah.
representation of me. Like I don't want to see it. Like sometimes if like a sitcom or if
Mm.
a television show is a little too close, you're just like I don't need to,
You're
it
like,
actually deters you. It's almost like that show
yeah.
is meant for people that are not of that type. That way they can like understand that type. Because if you were
Yes.
watching it, like if I watched Glee, I would have been like, that's not what it's really like. As opposed to you would have watched it and you
Uh,
would have been like, oh, like that's a good ass show. Like that's great. You know, you know.
that's literally what I that was an accurate depiction of my entire life with that show.
Yeah.
Like,
So
um,
but in which case, then you would have like judged it more harsh. Like you wouldn't have been able to enjoy it. You would have been critiquing it too much.
yeah, And I feel like Blackish. I do want to sit down and watch because everyone on that show I
Yeah.
like. I just never been. I didn't have ABC. I didn't want to. I was like, I'll watch it online,
Yeah.
whatever. And I don't think there was anybody from Living Single on on Family Reunion. But if there was, I didn't catch them. But Living Single was really good too. Um, so yeah, I just I really enjoyed it, and I hope that people would watch it. Oh, you're the same way, Robbie? With what? With Blackish or just like Glee?
Oh,
Because I'm a Gleek all day.
I think he means that it's a good depiction.
Uh,
That's what I'm thinking.
yeah, he said haven't really watched much of Blackish, even though I know it's good. Yeah, it's just I've been told to watch it, and I know I definitely lived that life of being black, but mostly being white my whole life. White in terms of like the stuff I like and how I sound and all
I
that stuff.
hate that.
Is it it's
It
horrible
makes
to live through it too.
it makes my skin like it's funny like like being black or being African American is like the most interesting thing, and the reason why is because it's like 1 second like it's like, oh, you're too like you're not black enough, or like you're too black, like the critiques like can't you just be you, like
No.
like
I couldn't be me until like I graduated high
yeah.
school. Like that's when I got to finally be me.
Which is funny because
Well,
like you were kind of like you. Do you know what I mean?
yeah.
Like you were always like into like anime. You were always like into like RPGs. That innately nothing like I don't feel like anything particular has changed. But
Oh, well,
maybe your
yeah.
confidence in it has, or the fact that like you don't have to like be super aware, like you don't have to be hyper aware about it,
Yeah.
because like I think the only difference is that people aren't like calling you out on it. They're like, oh, you think you're white,
Yeah.
or like or you like do your hair or something, and oh, Joy thinks she's black now or something, you know what I mean? Like that sort of like
Yeah.
bullshit, when it's like, no, that's your like it's your life, you're
That's me.
like you could be whatever, you could be garbage can if you want, like boom, you're garbage
Yeah.
can.
I take back what I said before. I feel like I'm finally being me a couple years
Okay.
ago. Not so much when I graduated high
Yeah.
school, but more like now that I graduated college and now I'm like really getting into being me
Yeah.
and who I am. Now I'm like, okay, this
Yeah.
is me. But that's what you said. I was actually thinking about it, pondering about it earlier, where when you are black, it's like the coolest thing on the planet to be black because there's so many things that people take from black culture. But it's so funny that I wasn't allowed to be black by black people
Yeah.
until later.
Yeah.
Because everyone's like, girl, why, you not black enough, blah, blah,
Yeah.
blah, blah, blah. But then I was being made fun of not being black because of all the stuff I liked. But then I'm like, well, why did I like all of that stuff? Why did I like Japanese culture so much? Why did I like other people's culture so much? Because the shit that I was watching was made by Japanese people. They're made by Chinese people,
Yeah.
made by Koreans, made by whatever. So I'm like, it's not that I didn't like being black. It's just that I liked to be around things that made me happy. And clearly, being around black folks critiquing me every goddamn day was not
That just makes
was
so
not
much
fun.
sense.
This was the thought I had this evening. I was like, is that what? Because again, like in high school, and I had the guy that did this to me apologize to me like last year, but he bothered me about not being black and listening to J-pop and K-pop and stuff, and he was trying to be black, but he's not even black, and I was like, dude. And then I had that realization like a couple years ago. I'm like, you want to be black so bad, I will always be blacker than you, no matter what. Even if and that just power in itself made me feel happy.
He will never be blacker than Kevin Federline, though. Like you will never be
my
blacker
God.
than Kevin Federline. Like you can't. It's
Dude,
impossible.
You can't. We don't even want.
No.
that. Like,
I know. I think it's funny. I think it's funny.
He's the blackest white dude I've ever encountered. And I mean, in terms of like the grimy
Yeah.
version of being black, he he the N word, but for white people, like he just did not give like just completely messed up that girl's life. Shout out to Britney Spears,
Hey,
but
free Britney.
yeah,
Or free
yeah, free
Britney or
Britney,
not free Britney, whatever her doctor,
whatever makes her
whatever her
happy.
doctor states she should do, because there's a possibility that this is what she needs to do in order to be safe and healthy, is to be in a facility. Like
Oh,
that's
for sure,
the
yeah.
reason why, like, some of the free Britney stuff, I'm like yes, but no. I'm like, she
Yeah,
shouldn't
just
sign
like
an AMA
cautiously.
in order to be free.
Yeah, like just cautiously. If she wants to be
Yeah.
free, if the doctor says so, then maybe we can.
Well, as
Eh.
Wendy Williams said, she was like,
Oh God,
"Oh,
Wendy.
stop it! I love Wendy."
I know, I do.
Okay.
I sort of
Okay.
like her too, but I'm just
Okay.
like, oh
But
God,
she was
Wendy.
like talking about it, and she was talking about it, and like we were like looking, like the paparazzi. Like, she went out for like a bit, and she came back, and like she did not look well. Like, as far as like being
Mm.
like clenching up on her significant other, like as she's like walking through an airport, like she definitely looked anxiety ridden.
Uh,
So, in looking at that photo,
yeah.
she's like, the Britney Spears fans need to like come to the realization, like, there might be a time, and it might be now, where Britney Spears cannot be the entertainer. Like, and
Yeah.
if you look at the interviews when she was a little girl, she always said, "I want to be a mother. I want to be a mother out in Louisiana. I want to be in the sticks and be a mother." Like, that is, if you look back at the, like, she didn't say
Interviews and
the
stuff.
interviews and stuff. She always was like, "I just want to be a mom." Um, so
Sure.
like, you literally, and like her sister was on that track, and what she was like, I'm going
Mm.
to be a mom and do that, and like do that really well. So like, you got to think, like,
Yeah.
her sister ended up getting what Britney Spears wanted, but there might be a time when like Britney Spears can't be performer. Like, it just might, it,
No.
like, that is a big possibility. If she's not ready, and she might never be ready, because wouldn't you rather have your pop, like, if you like to pop star or something, wouldn't you rather, instead of having them be in like a gilded cage, and like having the most beautiful life in the world but not happy, like, that's not worth it.
That's why a lot of them kill
Yeah.
themselves, and all sorts of other reasons on top
Yeah.
of that. But
No, but I
they
mean,
end up
also the
like
pressure. I
doing
mean,
that.
so
Mm.
I don't know. I think that that's interesting.
That was K-pop for me. Just real quick, I agree with Rodney. I also hated that when people said that about me.
He said
Um,
that he hates it when people say, "You sound white."
I always give the example that I had with our old high school principal, where he called me out one day and he was like, "You're not from around here, are you?" And I was like, "No." And he's like, "Oh, well, where did you grow up?" And I was like, "Oh, I grew up in Red Bank." He's like, "Oh, yeah, you sound very articulate." I was like, "I am."
Yeah.
Because I have a brain and I
But like
graduated.
that,
Like I,
but also like that was like a very like good. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, it was like supposed to be a compliment, but I was like, wow, he obviously he knew wasn't from here, but still, I was like, yeah, this is just the way I sound all the
yeah,
time. There's no turning it off or
yeah,
whatever.
yeah.
So
You're not turning, or you're not turning it on to be like, "Oh, I'm going to impress Whitey McGee over there." Yes.
yeah, like I'm here performing for
Which
the
is
white
funny.
folks.
I can
Yes.
think of one of our I can think of one of our classmates that um, kind of would do that, would be able to like be
Really?
bilingual as far as that flow sort of thing.
Who? Could you say their name, or do you want to text it to me? Hmm.
Yeah,
I wondered.
I
I
don't
mean,
want to say it just because sometimes she could quite
be
she
watching.
no she's
Oh.
she's not gonna be watching.
Oh, okay. And then Chris said, as you're typing it to me, some people are so enveloped in race or creed or insert here as an identity, they forget to just be themselves or actually just are actually just are afraid. I'm sorry, are actually are just afraid of doing so. Yes, it's so true. It's so interesting how when we're when we grow up or as we're growing, it's like, oh, don't stand out. Oh, don't be
Yeah.
yourself. Be like everybody else. Do what everyone else is doing. And then when you're decided to like, no, I actually have a thought, like a brain, a process, I am different. And you want to celebrate being different, then it's like, why are you trying to do that? Like, okay, obviously you're different. But like you said, if anyone everyone just remembers that we're all freaking human beings, like let's just get that out the way. We're all humans, no matter what skin color, what religion, what you believe, what you don't believe. Like we're all humans, and people should be treated with respect. Like, get it out the way. And what did you put?
I think I misspelled the name like terribly, but you should know.
I don't know who that is.
Oh.
I don't know who that is. That someone that was in our
Yeah,
class?
I don't
Like
know.
I don't.
I can't spell the name.
Mm, yeah, I don't know who that is.
I'm like,
Am I Facebook friends with this
yeah,
person? Oh,
yes.
oh,
Right? Depending on who she was
oh.
with, right? If she was with the teacher, she could like
Oh.
elevate it, and with like her friends or just regular people. Do you agree or disagree?
You know what's? No, I agree. It's so annoying though because I went to
I
church with her,
know.
so I got to see her in one way and then see her the other
Yes.
way. Yeah, like yeah, like that was
She could
something
talk very
where
Valley Girl, very white Valley Girl,
yeah, yeah.
or she could like be.
Be around
She
her
could be
friends and be like
down.
hella ghetto.
Yes.
Yeah, she can be hella down. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I
And
understand
instead
now.
of
Yeah.
me thinking like, oh wow, she has like two sides, you know what I mean? Like she's connected to like
Mm.
all different, like she has multiple sides. Instead of feeling that way, it kind of almost feels disingenuine. Like it's,
Ah.
you know
Mm.
what I mean? Like it doesn't, and it could feel
Yeah.
disingenuine both ways. Like, oh, is she really not that down, or is she really not that?
No, it's something I felt
Yeah,
too, only because I know in high school she did have a to me a good mixture of
yeah.
friends, like of different backgrounds and stuff. So I understood that part. But there was always something about her that was like I didn't really trust it.
She was a very much a chameleon, and the
Yeah.
chameleons, which is funny because like I had, as Joy knows, I would not say that I was popular by any means, but I had friends in every friend group. But the thing about me is that I was always
Mm.
still me. Like
Yeah, me too.
I know Joy was always her, I was always me, and basically the thing that I loved about high school is that as opposed to middle school where it's like you could be beaten down for like being you, like in high school
Mm.
basically, if people don't like who you are, they just don't talk to you. Like for the most
Yeah.
part, like I got in fights or whatever, but like for like 99% of the time, like, and I've had shitty, like really shitty things happen to me in high school, but for like 99% of the time, like if people didn't like you, they just didn't talk to you.
Yeah. They basically either left you alone or talked about you for 5 minutes, and then they're like, "All right, we're
Yeah,
over it."
like
I would hope.
you had to actively be butting against them in order to get any like real shit. Don't get me wrong, I
Mm.
did go through bullying, but I just mean like 99% of the
Mm.
time. Like you had to actively like be trying to get into a fight in order for there to be
To
backfall.
get
Yeah.
something.
As opposed to middle
And the
school, which it was the opposite.
really, because I didn't go to middle school with you
Uh,
guys, so I don't know what it was
yeah,
like.
no, middle school. Well, because if I think it has to do with the we're going on a tangent. I think middle
Yay.
school because the hormones are really starting to kick in, so you have that like territorial
Okay.
thing, and
Mm.
by the first so freshman year, that hormone is still going on. The like hormone change where it's like, oh, I have to show how big I am, but in high
Mm.
school, for the most part, everything is sort of like settles down, and everybody's like, okay, this is
Yeah.
my friend group. So it's like, okay, well, this is my friend group, so I'm just gonna hang out with my friend group, and then like,
Mm.
okay, if we're gonna rumble with the other friend group that's against our friend group, as opposed to being like, there's that third party geek squad, we're gonna get them because they're nerds. Like that was middle
Mm.
school was like that's how it legitimately was like, but it's because
Wow.
because if you think about it in middle school, like you're trying to prove your worth. You know, you're
Hmm.
getting bigger, you're becoming a man or you're becoming a woman, and you have to prove how much of a man or a woman you are in your head. Um, but it
Hmm.
sort of fades out, I think, in high school just because those changes aren't happening. You know, in middle school, those changes really are happening.
Yeah. And I respect you so much because I feel like I mean I didn't I can only I only got like a taste sometimes or a preview of what you were going through in high
Yeah,
school when it came to bullying. Like I can't even say definitely can't say I've seen
yeah,
everything, but from what I've known
yeah,
of you, and then for you to come back and still be like F everybody, I'm still going to this high school
yeah.
reunion, and I feel like people did like give you maybe not I don't know what
You
kind
know
of
what?
feelings you
I didn't
had,
have. I didn't have the heart.
but I feel like they gave you respect, sort of, for like being like, oh, that's that guy from
Yeah.
before.
No. It's weird. I didn't have like the worst. Like I didn't go through like the worst shit that could happen. Like I was never
Mm.
jumped. But also the people that got jumped were people that were like starting shit with like massive groups of people. Yeah,
People.
like you kind of had
Mm.
to you had to
Do some
yeah, you had
heinous.
to like start some shit with like not good people in order to like really
Yeah.
get your ass handed to you um for the
Mm.
most part. But like oh yeah, like in the hallways and stuff, not good stuff. Kind of just horse blinder sort of thing, which
Yeah.
worked. it
Yeah, pretty
yeah,
much.
and like, and the good thing is that like I was a good person to my friend group, or like I was a club person, so I was in drama, I was in
Uh,
chorus, I was, you know, I did student council stuff, I did student council, and then I did, you know, I did freshman class council, so like and then I had like my friends that were like the anime kid group, I was tight with
mm.
them, so the good thing is that, and then also I was also a year higher in my English. My freshman summer, I took my sophomore English, so I was also a grade higher in English.
Oh.
That's why I graduated early. So I also knew people a grade higher
Oh.
than me, and the classes that I were in, I think it was the honors class. It wasn't like the PE or like the whatever aptitude class. It was just the honors. So I like knew kids that were like
Okay.
smart, like not like mainstream kids. So I was able to like know a lot of, I guess, like a lot of different people as opposed to just some people.
Your age
Yeah.
group.
So I think that that was good.
It was. It really
Yeah.
was.
Kept me out of trouble, and like for the most part, everybody knew that I was harmless enough.
And I feel like that way too with
Yeah.
me. Like I don't really know how people viewed me in high school. I don't know how like I don't think I was popular either, but I mean if I ever had any tiffs with people, it might have been like once or
Yeah.
twice, but nothing ever escalated to the point of, oh, Joy thinks she's this or
No, you
whatever.
were just. I would say if they were. I was gonna say if I were to describe you in high school, you were just like stereotypical like you were just like a gamer girl. Like you would bring in your
Pretty much.
PSP into class. Like you'd walk around in like gym, and like if the gym teacher didn't care, you'd like play your PSP during gym and like walk around. That way you still it still count it. You were into
Yeah.
anime and stuff. Which is actually
Mm.
very interesting because I have a friend Eli who's also not white, and he loves freaking anime. So I think that there's this like
Hmm.
it's very interesting. Like I would say like I would not even call it like a rarity. I just think it's like counterculture. Like
Yeah,
there's
it's
like
so
a
crazy.
counterculture, like there's like a counter black culture where it's like yeah, we fucking we love anime, and we love anime, like it's freaking awesome. Like
Yeah, it's so
there's
many. It's if you honestly asked black dudes like in the area, like the hardest looking
yeah,
dudes, you say
I was
Naruto,
gonna
and they
say
will give
yeah,
you a whole freaking thesis about
yeah,
Naruto. They would give you a whole like like research paper on One Piece. Like these dudes, oh, we all hard, blah blah
Yeah.
blah. But I'm like, name me your favorite character in Bleach, and they're like, yo, blah blah
Yeah.
blah blah blah, this and that. And I'm like, really, dude? You out here banging and smoking weed, but here you are
Yeah.
talking about Bleach
No,
and
it's
Death Note. Like, it's so
but
great.
that's why I think it's so that's why I think it's so interesting. But also, I think also it's because you're a girl. So like, if you were a guy,
Yeah.
like they wouldn't have cared about like the gaming and the anime, you know. But so that's why
Yeah,
I think it's funny because just in whole, I think that is a whole like counterculture. Like I don't see it as a rarity like at all.
It's
Like
not.
there's what was that show about, like that anime show about the black little kid, like a badass black little kid, but it was like an anime. It was Boondock.
Watch Rodney know. Oh yeah, the Boondocks.
Yes, like that's why that show
Yeah, Boondocks.
existed, because there was a huge like black culture that loved like freaking loved anime.
Riley and Huey and their uncle and stuff. But it's crazy because my grandfather. Excuse me, oh my god. Like, talking about grandpa. My grandfather is the one who taught me and exposed me to martial arts and all sorts of Eastern Asian culture. So it's not like I just stumbled upon this shit. Like, my grandfather influenced me, like with Planet of the Apes and Bruce Lee and karate and all sorts of stuff.
I wonder if the if like the 70s like blaxploitation like
yes,
like that sort of thing comes into play with that, as far as like the martial arts and the like shut your mouth, like, you know what I mean? Oh wait, please, you are gonna
yeah, it does.
So like, to me that's like that totally kind of seems like a natural progression.
And that's why I would always say, I don't know why black people and Asian people don't get along better. Like, we should all be getting along way better than we do.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
like
at the end of the day, it like you're all like people of color, like
but even like, you know Lupe Fiasco, right? The rapper. He's the one who did Kick Push. Superstar. Dang it. Anyway, Google Lupe Fiasco. He's from Chicago, and he has this whole mini-series about him going to China to study martial arts, like to study what his father taught him.
From the people that
so
taught
he was
him.
like, for the people that taught him. So he's like, it's so amazing how I was, you know, like a kid who studied who's, you know, born and knows and practices Islam in Chicago, being in like one of the hardest neighborhoods in the city, and you know, he's probably like mid-30s, going to China and just hanging out and practicing Tai Chi and doing all sorts of cool stuff. I'm like, that's black folks right there. The only reason why it would seem so rare is because black people don't talk about it. Because when black people talk about it, you get made fun of for not being black enough. So then we just keep it to ourselves, and we pretend like we don't do it.
But then again, I'm
stupid.
saying that as a white person, which is funny because I don't think of myself as white.
You're not really white though.
I'm just.
You don't have the. You look like it, but in a way, like your mannerisms and stuff that you've grown up with and the people you've been around, you're not like the stereotypical white guy that I would refer to.
You're thinking of somebody that's
when I would
waspy.
talk about you.
I'm not waspy. I'm salt of the earth, people.
And you're not the kind of dude. You're not the guy that's like, dude, like, you know, do you want to like put something in my ass, bro?
Yeah, no, I'm
like,
not bro.
Like what?
Yeah.
You're not that broy guy. You're not that kind of white person. So I don't consider you in that category. What was the other thing? Oh man, it was the other thing I was gonna mention real quick. It had to do with, can't remember. Black people love kung fu movies. So, yeah, but that's just what makes me mad. Would be that. Dang it had to do with what you just said. Shoot. I'm so mad. I don't know. It had to do with probably anime and
exploitation films.
Whatever the heck I just said, or whatever the heck you just said. Black people, Asian people should be together more.
All people of color.
You're not.
I'm not white. My mannerisms. I'm not a bro.
Dang it. It'll come back eventually. But yeah.
Oh, I was gonna say we are. We are getting a little long in the tooth at this hour.
Oh God,
I'm,
yeah.
we are, unfortunately, it's that time again. Um, I would like to say a very special thanks to Rick, Chris, and Rodney for watching. Woohoo!
Yes.
Fantastic. And I'd like to thank my co-host Joy. You did an amazing job today. Um,
Oh,
and,
thank you. You as well, sir.
Thank you. Rodney was saying that it is definitely more accepted now as far as black people loving kung fu movies, as well as the black nerds that love comics and anime, which definitely.
Oh, there it is. I'm so sorry. Oh my God, it hit me like a tongue of bricks. Okay, it's because you read it and then I remembered. I had a conversation with he is a family member of mine. He is a black man, and I don't want to blow up his spot too much, but he has a very high paying profession. And he was confessing to me because it was at a family gathering, and he was like, "Oh, so you like anime and you like comic books and stuff, right? And video games." So he's like confiding in me, and I'm like, "What are you about to tell me?" He's like, I do this job, right? And I'm good at it, and it pays me a lot of money, but I like Dragon Ball Z.
It's okay.
And I'm like, did you just tell me, like, did you confess, like, you're smoking meth? Like, what is the secret? What's wrong with that, sir? And he was just like, well, because I'm older and I have a family that I just didn't think it would be accepted,
That's
and
actually,
the way you talk about
it's
stuff.
so sad.
I know, and I would love, and I'm saying, and I say this now, but when I have a podcast, I want to interview him again because that was a whole that was impromptu. But I'm like, we need to hear, and I told him this to his face. I'm like, we need, as us millennials and younger generation, and for your children, we need to hear adults say that they like these kinds of things because I told him adults like you or someone near you, they'll be like, oh, well, that's childish, put that away, blah blah blah,
Like,
you're a
you
grown
grow
man,
up.
you
Like,
don't need to be
why
liking
can't you
that.
grow up now? Absolutely. But it's
Yeah.
funny. Those are the same people that like the Adam West Batman show.
Yes.
So it's
So
literally
I was
the
just like,
same thing.
come on, just be honest with yourself and like what you like. Don't be like, oh, because when he was saying that to me, he was like I said, confessing like he just did a murder. And I'm like, dude, if you like Dragon Ball Z, like you like Frieza, I like Goku, I like Trunks, like let's talk about it. Like, so it was just so cute and so loving to finally see black people admit that they like this stuff. So yeah, that's what I wanted to say. Okay, go ahead.
I was gonna say, me and Dragon Ball Z. No, with Toonami, I was
We're
more
friends.
of a Sailor Moon.
Tenchi Muyo.
Sailor Moon friend. Yeah,
Okay.
I'm a friend of Sailor Moon. But with that being said, I also remember when it was on UPN 9 at like 6
Me
o'clock
too.
in the morning when you'd wake up for school.
Me.
So that's how I'd watch it, as well as Mama's Family. Mama's Family, when I was in middle school, woke me up. TBS.
Oh, yeah.
TBS every morning.
Yeah.
My brother would have it set for Mama's Family. So we'd watch that
Aww.
in bed, trying to wake up. But Sailor Moon, my mom and dad's tiny TV. I remember watching that, getting ready for school.
Dang.
Yes, and that's not even Toonami. That's like when it was like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I remember UPN 9.
When it
Shoot.
was on UPN 9.
Yeah.
As well as
That's when it was cool.
really loved Paranoia Agent. So like I go from like really really like bright, magical girl thing to like super dark, talking about culture and what's happening with the worlds. Blah blah blah. It's like, is this killer a physical entity or is it a significance greater? So,
You know what's insane? I could yodel that theme song right now, and like half people will not know what it's from. I'll be like, yeah, and they'll be like, what are you doing?
see, but
I'm
it's
like,
perfect
"You
if they
don't know
make that
Paranoid
bass.
Agent?"
It's like, wait, do it again.
Like just trying to. I don't know what the heck he was saying, but I was.
Oh wait, fun fact!
I
I've
used
never
to
seen there's only one episode of that show I've never seen, and that's the last episode. And I kind of like the fact that I
Oh.
don't know the ending.
Yeah, I want to actually rewatch. I want to watch it fully. I've never done
Yeah.
it, but I want to watch it because I have no idea what that show was
I
about
haven't
now.
seen the last episode. Like I like there a couple of times I've watched it through. I've never seen the last episode though, and there's no reason
my
why I
God.
haven't watched it. But at this point, I'm like, I kind of don't want to know the ending. I'm like,
That's that's how I feel about Scandal. I'm like, I don't know if I want to finish this season.
yay.
I'm gonna just leave it alone.
Ugh.
I don't know.
Oh wait,
Man.
Rodney's ooh. Actually, holy crap
Oh,
balls.
shoot.
The chat is going crazy. Chris says, thanks guys. Laugh out loud. Rodney. And then Rick says, I made it through the show without falling down. I'm proud of myself. Woo!
We're proud of you too,
And,
Rick.
and
Thank you.
And reading the stuff, super excited about progress. Amazing. And then Rodney says, I've been a comics and anime nerd since forever, ha ha ha. And then he remembers when Sailor Moon was on the UPN 9 and he started doing all of the Sailor Moon theme song. He said, bringing back all these memories now. Oh,
And he's not gonna spoil
he's
Paranoia
not
Agent
gonna spoil
for you.
Paranoia Agent for me, which...
Please don't spoil for us.
Thank you. I was gonna say it's been so long. It's not even like we can really it's not like going past a spoiler and being like, oh, you ruined it. Like, what is it like?
I'll look it up, and what I can do is I can try. I have to see how many episodes it is.
It's like,
but I will
6
try
or
to binge
7
it.
episodes. It's like it's legit.
Oh.
It's a super small series.
Oh, then let me just watch.
It's
I
less.
can watch
I would
that.
say it's less than 10.
I will look it up right now, and I will watch it, and then I'll let you know.
Rodney, am I
I
right?
don't
Is it
know.
8? I feel like it's 8. It's either 8 or 10.
Paranoia Agent. It's from what the website that I'm on. It's 13 English dubbed episodes.
That makes sense.
I can watch
It's
that.
super short though. But also you have to remember it's like a half an hour show. Right? I feel like it's
Oh.
half an hour. I don't think it's an hour.
I don't know. I'd watch it. I mean, just because we brought it up.
It was really good. Oh.
Yeah.
All right.
Very deep.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then there's just a kid.
And then, so good. And he's just doing stuff in the background. Oh my god, such a weird
Yeah,
show.
no, it's
Scary show, but
and all the
good.
people like, oh, I love that.
See, now I'm getting like
I know it's making
How
it's
I felt
making
about
my-
Heavy
it's making
Rain.
my heart happy, which is funny because that
Heavy-
show
no,
is
I'm
not
scared.
something that. Oh, and then the little little puppy cartoon guy.
the way that Heavy Rain made me feel is now not as bad as like how Paranoia Agent is making me feel in terms of scared and anxiety. And now I'm like, oh my god, I remember being a young child watching that and being scared. Like, I know this is not good. Whatever it is I'm watching, it's not for me. But I love it.
Oh yeah,
Like,
no, oh well. Also, so I went from that to like the super witty, biting comedy styles that is Super Milk Chan. But like I had the
yes.
DVDs before it was on like Cartoon Network. Like they sold a
okay,
set, and like they had skits with all the voice actors, like really like very meta.
I would like
Yeah,
that.
no, it was actually very interesting, but unfortunately,
Yeah,
we
we gotta
get going. Our significant others are like, come on, guys. I think my cat is like running down the stairs.
Oh, hey, Joe.
Go, Joe. All
Hello,
right,
hey,
and
Joe.
Ronnie's
You wanna
saying,
give it a go?
yeah, a half an hour
Experiment.
episodes. You have to watch Serial Experiments Lane 2. I will.
Let me put that on the
I
list.
will look that up. Ronnie's saying Oklahoma, so I'm going to say Oklahoma.
Oklahoma.
Oklahoma when the wind comes. All right, and then
Oh, yasumi nasai.
and then Rodney is now saying that as well. So thank you so much for watching. She is Joy Infinity, and I am Chocolate Moxie.
Cereal. I'm looking it up. Serial experiments lane.
See, it's a good thing that I got this camera now, because, like, you can see all my hand motions. Like, Joy has to...
Yeah, I think I want to get that.
No, well, you have your
hand
like,
motions.
amazing camera.
It's Mac.
Also, you should watch Pen 15.
Oh my god, yes, I do want to watch that. Yes.
It's a good show.